Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you a review of the brand new Gear VR 2017 Note 8 edition. It's a very long title for an updated Gear VR that's compatible with USB Type-C, micro USB, and for the most part all of the devices that came before the Note 8. We're going to check it out, do a comparison between it, the earlier 2017 model that was not supposed to be compatible with the Note 8, as well as the late 2016 model that was the last one, or at least the first one that came with USB Type-C. This is TK. Let's go ahead and check out the Gear VR 2017. The box is very simple. You'll notice right there in blue, it specifically says that now compatible with the Galaxy Note 8. Now, this is a refresh from what we had earlier this year. In the beginning of 2017, they did announce and release one that's compatible with the S8 and the S8 Plus. For all intents and purposes, it was basically an update with a remote control, and that was a very nice update earlier this year. Now, this one was released exactly at the same time as the Note 8, although there was not that much talk about it, and it is available to be picked up from Amazon. The packaging is very similar to the one we saw before. There's a box here. Opening this box gives us information. There's obviously some documentation here. We can get here. We have the remote control itself. The head strap positioning. This is the little adapter that you're going to be using to convert it to micro USB. By default, it comes with the USB Type-C connector. We have the strap, as well as a lanyard and a small strap for the remote to be able to mount it directly on the controller, on the headset. So those things are going to be really nice to check out, but I want to see real quick. I think if I'm not mistaken, there should also be, oh yeah, here it is. There's some batteries here included at the bottom that are going to charge our remote control. Opening it up, it's very simple. It's exactly the same remote that we had earlier this year. We have the touchpad on the top, we have the home and the back button plus volume control. On the back we have the trigger, and that's pretty much it. It holds very nicely in the hand. Taking a look at the star of the show, we have some plastic here. Let's go ahead and remove this. And we noticed that right out of the box, there's a shield in here. Just pop in this end, opens it up, and we're greeted directly with the actual position here. This is going to be what's going to allow us to be compatible with the Note 8. So comparing the two, overall, it looks like the actual optics and as far as the positioning is pretty much the same. I think the only thing they did here is that they made it bigger. You can definitely see if you put them side by side that this one actually goes a little bit further out. And here is the Note 8. So the 2018 Note 8 edition will accommodate the bigger size screen. You'll notice this actually comes out a little bit further out. So when I put in the Note 8, I'll put this on the side a little bit. It does fit it correctly, and it has enough space, just a little bit more space here on the sides to be able to fit this. 2017 earlier edition, this is the one that came out around the S8 and the S8 Plus. You notice it works exactly. So there's a little bit of a spacing issue here. It doesn't actually give it enough room. So, but if I push it down and I actually close it, it still fits perfectly. It still goes flush against the actual unit, and I'm still able to use it. Now, up till the point I received this in the mail, I was basically using this to play Gear VR games, enjoying different movies, Netflix, Hulu, all of the stuff using this existing hardware. So compatibility with the Note 8, I realized mostly what you're going to be getting is bigger optic. Well, I guess bigger housing. That's really the biggest part of it. They're both using the same mechanism, so you're able to clip this up and slide it off, and you're able to replace it with the micro USB. Same color, same scheme, same jog dial. On the left side, we still have the same information. We have here, right there, Gear VR, Oculus, Gear VR. It does seem like it's a little bit longer on this end. This is the one from the earlier this year. This one's a little bit shorter to maybe kind of accommodate bigger size. On the bottom, we have the same USB Type-C connector to charge, USB Type-C connector to charge, and then we have the little vents. The optics on the front, the same, look pretty much the same. The eyes are set up here. We have the proximity sensor built in and a little bit of a vent here to be able to give us some ventilation. And then the same soft material. You'll notice exactly same thing. The only thing we're missing now is the volume rocker that went away from this one. So in the 2017 Note 8 edition, we lost the volume rocker at the top. We have the home, home, back, and the volume rocker seems to have... Oh, it looks like it seems to have gone away. We don't have a volume position here. I think it's because they're considering the fact that you have a volume control on the controller. Let's compare this to the 2016 model. So looking at the two models, you'll notice the shield is a little different. The 2016 model is not shiny, I guess. As far as the actual optics, we're looking at pretty much the same, except that we do have a slightly bigger optic opening here. So the optics did get a little bit better when we went into 2017. USB Type-C compatibility is exactly the same. And just from a testing point of view, we're going to go ahead and put in that Note 8, since we already know the S8 Plus works. I'm just going to plug in my Note 8 here, and exactly the same position. It does hold it, and the pin does go over it, and you're pretty much set, and you get the same thing. The other thing you want to make sure, obviously, is that, you know, when you're using it, make sure you have the right software installed. So installing it and removing it will fit. It does not damage, it doesn't add any pressure on it, because it's actually not going beyond the limitation of the actual opening. Using the Gear VR is pretty simple. Just put in your device, pair up your controller, and make sure you have the Oculus software installed. If you don't, when you first put it in, it's going to prompt you to download it and update the libraries. I'm going to do a test with this one and just see how it performs, and then of course I'm going to switch over to the earlier 2017 version to be able to see how that performs comparing the two together. When you first log into the Gear VR, you're going to be greeted with this menu system. You have the Explore Oculus in the center, the recents on the left, which are the applications you've used before. You have a tutorial, of course, that takes you through and explains how to use it, as well as the environment. And on the right side, you have the featured events. Some of them are live events that are going on right now. And of course, if you have any friends on using your Facebook login, you can actually play with them. I have a couple of friends here, Root Junkie and Josh Bain right there. And then of course, you can submit requests and you can start playing. The interface is very simple. You notice that the controller is working. If it does lose sync, press and hold the home button on the right side and it will work. You notice I can actually see the controller and it points kind of like a laser to the front. The organization of the data here is very simple. You have home, library, and then you can actually use the touchpad to be able to use this. And you'll notice this is all the applications you have installed. You can customize and see how the updates need to be for the applications. Not installed if this is part of your library, but you just haven't installed them here, as well as saved information. Environments changes this environment around us. By default, you notice it always comes in here, or you can change it to whatever environment you'd like. I actually like to change it to go into more of a space environment, so I'm going to go back here. I'm going to change it to another planet. You notice it changes the environment and you're still able to look around. Overall, very nice. And then of course you can go directly into my apps. It'll list all the applications. Now you notice I am recording this. I'm able to talk to you guys while I'm recording this. Unfortunately, I can't show you going into an application because every time I jump into a certain app, it by default will stop recording. So we'll have to start it over again. I'm going to show you guys a quick demo of me playing the game Rush. I just purchased this yesterday. It's very nice. There's of course Wrath of Loki. Of course there's other like the Spark of Light. These are some really nice puzzle-based games that will take you some time to go through. You can check out the gallery to see all your pictures in here, videos and pictures. You have the video here. I'm not going to say the word I'm not going to actually say this word because the moment I say this, it's going to initiate voice recognition. So if you say Oculus, it's a built-in assistant that's built in directly within this UI. So whenever you say that word, it triggers it. So that's why I'm not going to say it here. Of course, you can go to the next one and I have Hulu installed, Samsung Internet. This is an internet browser built in here. Gunjack is one of my favorite games. So I'm going to show you a couple of quick demos. And you can see yourself holding the actual thing. It's very, very nice. This game, it's going to be very simple. You're able to actually use your controller to be able to fire, so you don't have to actually use it with your hand. Before, if you didn't have the controller, you had to actually tap the display, and which kept your hand sitting up very high all the time, which gives you fatigue. So very nice, very easy to use. Now, from the sense of the Galaxy S8 version, the earlier 2017 model, it fits, as I showed you guys, where it puts on. There's no issue as far as the visibility. The optics and everything looks exactly the same, and you're still able to use it. The main difference with the controllers right now is that we have the volume rocker that we have here on the early 2017 version. The 2017 Note 8 edition loses the volume rocker because you have it on the controller. So it really it wants you to keep depending using the controller. Also, one thing you want to make sure that you guys are aware of, the 2016 model does not have the controller, but it does have the volume rockers. So you're able to use the Note 8 with either the 2017 S8, S8 Plus, 2016 Note 7 edition, as well as the 2017 Note 8 edition. The main difference, of course, when you go into the Note 8 edition is you lost the volume rocker. It has a bigger housing placement for the actual Note 8 to put in. And it also seems like it will accommodate something a little bit bigger. So it may be a little bit more future-proof. But from an experience point, the early 2017 works exactly the same. It's the same controller, same functionality. Overall, using the Gear VR 2017, either the S8 and the S8 Plus or the new 2017 Note 8 edition, you're going to get a great experience. There's a few cosmetic changes. You obviously have a bigger housing for the Note 8. You lost the volume rocker on the late edition of 2017. But overall, pretty much the same experience. I think if you have the ability to get a new Gear VR, definitely get the one compatible with the Note 8, as it actually seems to be a little bit more future-proof than the one from the earlier this year, as I think it's reaching its maximum limit with the Note 8. Other than that, experience is pretty much the same. As long as you have a USB Type-C Gear VR, late 16, early 17, or late 17, I think you're pretty much set. You should be very happy in the new UI. Download the Oculus application, check it out. So much more has been made available here for our Note 8 and our Galaxy devices. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope you found this video very useful. And again, like and subscribe, share it to all your friends, as this supports the channel and it keeps me going for you guys. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.